Selena, because I'll be with you. I said, Selena, can we make it after? Otherwise, we're going to keep a lot of money waiting. These people have big money. When I saw the people here, I said, Selena, I'm sorry. I have to delay this. And also, Miss McAdams. Where is Miss McAdams? We're going to do one with her, too. And she's great, with Fox. And she's been fantastic. Stand up. Stand up. Young and smart and vibrant. She's been you've done a great job. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes, all right? That's great. We can't keep this kind of money waiting. These are truly the biggest investors in the world, including my friend John on my left. But these are the biggest investors in the world. I'm sorry, McAdams, and I'm sorry, Selena. That's the way it works. It's very impressive. But Nippon Steel, and we got it, and we have all sorts of protections because of the fact that U.S. Steel was you people years ago. 80 years ago, it was the biggest company in the world, most powerful company in the world, and we were very strong. And Nippon's coming in. They're going to be investing $17 billion. They're going to build new plants all over the country using U.S. Steel, and we have the absolute control because we don't want to lose control of that one name. That one name is very important for to the history of this country, and I think Nippon's going to do a fantastic job. And, you know, in some cases, they could take it back to their country. I said to people, because a lot of people said, well, what do you think? Japanese companies coming in. I said, well, you know, when they spend $1 billion in a steel plant, they're not going to put it on a boat and take it away. It's going to be right here with us, no matter what. But they are going to do a fantastic job, and they look forward to it, and they're so excited about it. They actually fought very, very hard to get that deal. And I think when you look at the countless jobs at the Mon Valley Works in Western Pennsylvania, we have something that's going to be really incredible. And we did keep a golden share. You know who has the golden share? I do. I have the golden. Does everybody know what a golden share? A lot of these people from the Middle East, they don't have to worry about golden shares. But we have a golden share, but Nippon's going to do a fantastic job. With that historic announcement and the new commitments being made today, we're building a future where American workers will forge the steel, produce the energy, build the factories, and really run a country like, I believe, like this country has never been run before. I think we have a true golden age for America. We've been showing it, and it truly is the hottest country anywhere in the world. And I'm honored to be in Pennsylvania, and I'm honored to be in Pittsburgh, and you're going to see some real action here, so get ready. Lots of jobs, lots of success. Really a beautiful thing is, it's going to be beautiful to behold. So enjoy yourselves, and I look forward to hearing some of your geniuses speak. If that's okay, I'll stay around, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for being here. And you coming has allowed us to have this incredible summit. It won't surprise you, this summit was Dina's idea. But what it's allowed us to do is catalyze the investment. It's allowed us to get a lot of attention on Pennsylvania's story, and it's allowed us to deliver on the promises you and I talked about, which is jobs for working families, really create opportunity here in Pennsylvania. So it's the manifestation of your agenda. And we're going to talk today about those $90 billion of investment. You'll hear from Blackstone and QTS, CoreWeave, and others. They pledged $36 billion to build data centers. You'll also hear from companies that invested tens of billions in generating the power needed to run those data centers. We have great investments in natural gas production and pipelines, but also in nuclear. Brookfield's repowering of 2 hydro facilities with Google that you mentioned. The great Pittsburgh company Westinghouse will tell you how they're going to deliver on your call to strengthen America's nuclear power industrial base by placing 10 reactors under construction by 2030. And Constellation, which is here, Joe Dominguez, is upgrading Limerick Clean Energy Center to bring an additional 340 megawatts online. First Energy and Pennsylvania's PPL have collectively pledged $20 billion to build and operate the grid infrastructure required to support a data center renaissance right here in Pennsylvania, and to ensure that ratepayers don't foot the bill. And finally, you got technology companies like Google, and they're investing in bringing the benefits of AI to Main Street, and their AI Works for Pennsylvania initiative, which will offer AI training for 1 million small businesses. The great thing about today is these are not empty promises. These are tangible, real commitments, and they're only the beginning. The distinguished leaders you have around the table here, from Larry Fink to Darren Woods, from Toby Rice to Bruce Flatt, to great global investors like my good friends Chow Kit from Singapore, Haldun Al-Mubarak from the United Arab Emirates. They've traveled long distances to witness firsthand this historic moment and to see firsthand what's happening in Pennsylvania. And these investments are a testament to Pennsylvania's unique resources. Unbelievable natural gas reserves, abundant fresh water, a massive installed base of nuclear power, incredible tech universities like CMU, our host today, thank you, Farnham, amazing skilled trade engineers represented by Pennsylvania's own Rob Baer and Brandon Bishop here of the National Building Trades. But none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened without your unwavering commitment to unleashing American energy dominance and standing up for workers in Pennsylvania and across the nation. They're going to see those workers' tangible job opportunities here today. These projects will create tens of thousands of construction jobs and thousands of well-paying direct and indirect jobs supporting these projects, supporting these industries. It's going to make a big difference in Pennsylvania communities. So, Mr. President, this is the beginning of an economic renaissance for Pennsylvania and a huge step forward. And I want to thank you for making it possible and for being here in the Steel City. So let me give you one more hand. Thank you. So with that, if it's all right with you, Mr. President, I'm going to call on a handful of the people here and let them tell you a little bit about what they're thinking and why they're investing. I'll start with, to your left, John Gray, President and COO of Blackstone, $25 billion in data center and energy infrastructure in Northeast PA.
Thank you, Dave. I want to start by thanking President Trump for recognizing the importance of American leadership in AI innovation and for prioritizing the physical investment required in digital and energy infrastructure to make this AI revolution possible. We believe this new technology can lead to a manufacturing renaissance in the United States. Generating electrons will spur economic activity and employment growth right here in Pennsylvania. That also leads me to thank Senator McCormick for hosting this terrific summit, with Dina's help, of course. So many important participants from around the globe have come here, including political leaders in Pennsylvania from both sides of the aisle, who all care about making this state and the U.S. successful in this vital area. By the way, I love this state too. I went to college like you here as well. I met my wife here, and it is a great place. I will say that at Blackstone, we have enormous investments here, and we're very excited to announce that we're going to make a further $25 billion investment into Pennsylvania's digital and energy infrastructure. Thank you, Mr. President.
Great.
The investment should catalyze over the next 10-plus year a further $60 billion on top of that into the state. Pennsylvania, as you've heard, is uniquely situated as a strategic hub to power the nation's AI objectives. Abundant, low-cost energy, 20% of the country's natural gas production, and by co-locating data centers next to the natural gas, we eliminate the enormous cost and time delays with these projects, which makes us super bullish on this state. America's AI future obviously requires rapid acceleration of data center construction. Our company, QTS, is the largest independent data center developer and operator in the world. QTS has secured multiple land sites throughout the northeast of Pennsylvania. We're very excited about that. The co-CEO tag is over there. We're also excited to announce today a JV with Pennsylvania utility PPL to invest in new natural gas generation facilities. These will ensure grid reliability and power Pennsylvania's digital infrastructure, as well as homes and businesses across the Commonwealth. Net here, this continues our long-term partnership at Blackstone with Pennsylvania. We believe 6,000 plus jobs will be created or supported annually over the 10-year construction timeline. Over 3,000 permanent jobs will be created or supported by QTS and its customers. We have long-standing relationships with labor. We plan to continue those here in Pennsylvania, and we intend to commence construction on these projects by year-end 2028. Thank you for having us today, Senator McCormick. Thank you, President Trump, for your leadership. We are honored and excited to be investing in the future of Pennsylvania and the United States.
All right. Thank you, John. That's great. And I'm going to keep us moving because there's so many people here I want to call on. Brian Tierney, CEO of First Energy, a $9.3 billion investment across PA to expand power distribution and strengthen grid infrastructure. Brian.
Thank you, Senator McCormick, and thank you, President Trump, for your leadership, particularly on energy security and what it means to our economy.
Thank you.
At First Energy Pennsylvania, we have 6,000 contractors and employees who are thrilled to serve 2 million customers in the state. We are planning $15 billion of investment between now and the end of your term in the distribution grid and the transmission grid to enable things like artificial intelligence development, shale gas development, and any other form of economic and technological development that there is. We have partnered with the unions, the IBEW and the UWUA. We have a journeyman lineman hiring program, and we have an apprenticeship program that will create not just jobs, but long-term good-paying careers for the people of the Commonwealth. We're thrilled to be making this investment in the grid and infrastructure in the Commonwealth and look forward to working with those around the table to make it happen in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. All right. Dan Summer, you know, a Pittsburgh iconic name, Westinghouse, $6 billion. This ties directly to the executive order and your commitment to nuclear power. $6 billion investment to deliver 10 new large nuclear reactors by 2030, consistent with your executive order, and we're so excited about it here. Dan, take it.
As we've taken the call to action under your executive order to partner with companies across our industry to mobilize a plan to deliver 10 AP1000 reactors in the U.S. with construction to begin by 2030. This is not only critical to achieve your goals with respect to energy dominance and winning the AI race, but it's a driver of massive economic benefit across our country. When we deploy a fleet aligned to your vision, we'll drive $75 billion of economic value across the United States, with $6 billion of value here in Pennsylvania. It's also a jobs machine. Implementing your vision will create or sustain over 55,000 jobs across the country and over 15,000 jobs here in the Commonwealth alone. And these are great jobs across manufacturing, engineering, and construction. And beyond that, we're happy to announce today a strategic collaboration with Google to leverage Google's expertise in AI and AI solutions, along with Westinghouse's AI technology and 75 years of OEM nuclear engineering and construction data to build an AI machine that helps us rethink how to do nuclear construction in this country and honor your commitment and your expectations for us to, when we deliver nuclear, we'll do it on budget and on cost. Mr. President, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your vision. Westinghouse and our industry are ready to deliver. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. You almost gave the introduction for my good friend Ruth Peratt. Ruth, thank you for being here. And Google is doing a number of things, partnering with Brookfield, which Bruce Flatt is here. Great partnership. We're lucky to have them both engaged in Pennsylvania. Bruce is also the majority owner of Westinghouse. Brookfield's the majority owner of Westinghouse, and also an incredible effort to train 1 million small businesses in AI. So Ruth, please tell us what you're doing in Pennsylvania, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much for your leadership, for your clear and urgent direction that our nation invest in AI, in the infrastructure, technology, and energy needed to unlock the extraordinary capabilities and really enable America to continue to lead. And Senator McCormick and Dina, thank you for this extraordinary convening. It really has delivered the energy, no pun intended, that we were striving to achieve here. On behalf of Google, I'm very pleased to be here in Pittsburgh to announce that Google is investing more than $25 billion in data centers and AI infrastructure across the states in this critical PJM region over the next 2 years. And to support the investment, we're investing in 3 additional ways and focused on them. First, Mr. President, to support your mandate for energy abundance we're investing in hydro, as you referenced. It is a $3 billion 20-year agreement with Brookfield Energy to modernize 2 hydropower facilities in Lancaster County. Second, we've already heard about the importance of the grid. The Department of Energy has estimated that there is up to 100 gigawatts of additional capacity in America's grid infrastructure if we collectively work to unlock it. So at Google, 2 things. We're applying advanced technology to ensure that we're most efficiently using power from the grid, and we're also working on ways that AI can help to identify and deploy capacity more efficiently. I think what's really exciting also is we're focused on jobs. There are 2 parts of the focus on jobs. One is really training to support the jobs to modernize the grid. There is an acute need for electrical workers in this country. It's estimated in the 100,000 plus. Last month, Google made a grant to the Electrical Training Alliance to equip more than 100,000 electrical workers with the skills that they need and train 30,000 new apprentices by 2030. Today, we are expanding that grant to increase the projected pipeline of new electricians in Pennsylvania by 64%. Third, we think it is critical, as Senator McCormick said, to build a fair America, an America where everyone has the opportunity for jobs of the future. And to ensure that we can do that, today, starting in Pennsylvania, we're really proud to announce AI Works for America. And through partnerships with leading employers, universities, skilled trades, and manufacturers, we're going to help train American workers and students by teaching them essential AI skills. And as part of this, I'm very proud that Google will be offering free AI training to every small business in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. One final comment. We are proud that Pittsburgh is our home. It's been our home since 2006. Our first office was actually right here at Carnegie Mellon, and continuing the trend of this line right here, I also went to school in Pennsylvania, and we're very proud of it. So thank you again. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all your catalyzing.
Thanks, Ruth. That's what we like to hear. I want to call on just briefly Mike Intrator. Mike, I want to take note of this for all you CEOs. Mike is the CEO of CoreWeave, which made a big announcement today, $6 billion investment in Pennsylvania, and his stock went way up. So all you CEOs, just take notice. Investing in Pennsylvania is good for your stock price. Mike, please tell us about this project. It's very exciting.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Senator McCormick. And yes, you're correct. The market responded well to our announcement of investing $6 billion into a Lancaster, Pennsylvania data center. It's a data center that we will be able to host some of the most advanced, state-of-the-art computing infrastructure that the country needs in order to maintain its position as the leader in artificial intelligence. The data center will drive 600 jobs for across the trades as we construct the site, and then another 175 jobs of permanent employment. We're extremely excited about the role that this data center is going to play in our plans to be able to support not just the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but the broader Mid-Atlantic region for us. And you know, your support has been incredible across the energy space that's required to deliver clean, reliable power, as well as your support for artificial intelligence at large. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. President, what you hear over and over again are these incredible job creation, but we need workers to be able to fulfill these jobs. And I see my friend Barry in the audience, and we've talked a lot about the need for construction workers. There he is. There's Barry. We have Brandon Bishop with us today from the National Building Trades. And, you know, I was with a bunch of guys from the building trades a couple weeks ago, and they were saying, you know, we don't want to do the apprenticeship program until we're sure about the work. And I said, double, triple, quadruple the programs, right? We got to have skilled workers who can meet the needs. We got a tsunami of opportunity coming for Pennsylvania. And so maybe you could take a minute, Brandon, on that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Senator McCormick. Mr. President, it's an honor to be here today representing North America's building trades unions and our 3 million members. especially the thousands of highly skilled workers across Pennsylvania who are ready to deliver on all of the historic investments being announced here today. All the projects discussed here today aren't just about energy and innovation, they're about job creation. And all of us in the building trades stand ready to deliver. If you want the highest quality, most productive, long-term labor certainty, partner with us from day one. Don't just build with us, stay with us and maintain it for decades. And when you partner with the building trades, you get results. Productivity is 14% higher, projects cost 4% less on average, they're 40% less likely to face labor shortages, and labor turnover is cut by 2/3. We are the solution to the workforce challenge. Our members are sourced and trained through the largest private workforce development system in the country. Over 16,000 world-class training centers, including many right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. These centers train hundreds of thousands of men and women through our gold standard registered apprenticeship programs, no taxpayer dollars required. And they don't just lead to jobs, they launch lifelong, middle-class careers with family-sustaining wages, health care, and retirement. So if you're investing in Pennsylvania, let's talk, let's plan, let's partner. Because there is no workforce more prepared to build the future and no investment more certain than when you build with us. That's what we do. We build, we maintain, and deliver, all while doing it the best way, safely, on time, on budget, and with the highest quality.
Thank you. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so I asked the president. He said I could take the opportunity. We got the A-team here in terms of the cabinet the president put together. So I'd like to do a lightning round and just call on a couple of cabinet members to comment on what's going on in terms of the incredible action and activity at the intersection of the AI revolution, the energy revolution. We got a great team here that's working together. So let me just work my way around the table. Mr. Treasury Secretary Scott Besson, and then I'll turn to you, Howard, and then you, Chris, and then you, Doug. And Director Zeldin, I'm sorry I didn't mention you before, but I'm so glad you're here. You're doing great things for our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I want to thank President Trump for his leadership. The President's laid the foundation for a golden age economy, and it comes just in time to begin America's 250th anniversary celebration. 3 industries will define the future: manufacturing, energy, and technology. Not coincidentally, Pennsylvania is at the forefront of all 3. For more than 2 centuries, the Commonwealth has been the keystone at the top of the American arch, and politically, economically, and technology has played an indispensable role and will continue to do so under President Trump and Senator McCormick's leadership. The Rust Belt is no more. It's a thing of the past. The factories that industrialized America, won World War II, and built our modern infrastructure are firing up again, and new factories are coming online. Taking place along the blue-collar boom is the CapEx boom that we heard about today, and this is just the beginning. This is the 3rd time I've had the privilege of being in the Iron City in less than a year. I was here President Trump's final day on the campaign trail at the auditorium at the Duquesne Arena, and I saw the steel workers there to support him. I was back 3 weeks ago when he announced the Nippon Steel deal at the U.S. Steel plant, and it's an honor to be here with all of you today and see this CapEx boom along with a workers boom.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. All right, my good buddy, Secretary Lutnick.
Advanced manufacturing, technology lead. Our technology is the best in the world. President Trump is out to unleash that technology to make sure we win the AI race. But he knows that we need energy to drive it. And that's why he campaigned on drill, baby, drill, because we need energy. We need it across the nation, and we need it in Pennsylvania, which has got amazing natural gas resources, incredible. And then we've got to turn that into advanced manufacturing. So those three buckets are where we're going, and President Trump is leading the charge on that. And we are very excited. $16 trillion in investment dollars coming into America. So your workers, man, are they going to be busy?
Secretary Wright, let me turn to you, and then Secretary Burgum.
Yes, thank you, Senator McCormick, and thank you, President Trump. We are all here, and we're talking about $90 billion of investment in this state because of a dramatic pivot in the leadership of our country. President Trump, an East Coast real estate developer, understands in his gut energy more than anyone I've met. He knows energy is the infrastructure for everything we do. If you get energy wrong, nothing else matters. If you get energy right, the possibilities are just immense. And Pennsylvania, the oil and gas industry, global oil and gas industry, started a few dozen miles from here in Titusville, Pennsylvania. The shale gas revolution may have started in Texas, but it really flourished and hit its peak right here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania today exports more energy to other states than any other state except for Texas. And it would export more, but it had blocks on building pipelines. Two great opportunities for Pennsylvania energy. One, and President Trump is hard at work at both of these, one is to get those pipelines built from Pennsylvania to New England so we can change the quality of life and opportunities. People in New England have a lower quality of life than they deserve for bad political decisions. That can be changed. And number two, the opposition to building pipelines out of Pennsylvania doesn't stop the production of gas in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania natural gas production could ramp up tremendously fast, and Pennsylvania could lead the world in AI and reshoring manufacturing.
Secretary Burgum. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave and Dina. President Trump, it's such an honor to work for you. Your vision of energy dominance is the foundation of this golden age for America is coming true, and it's just common sense. You've called this the party of common sense, but it's when we talk about cutting taxes like never before, cutting regulations, speeding permitting, we're the hottest country in the world because of the policy changes that are drawing all that capital to come here. And now we combine this with the incredible natural resources that we have. You understand better than anyone that the balance sheet of America is the biggest balance sheet in the world, the natural resources that we have. And by unleashing energy, you know that that's what's lowered inflation. It's bringing prosperity at home, but it's also bringing peace abroad. You identified that there was a couple of threats to our country. One was Iran having a nuclear weapon. The other was losing the AI arms race to China. You took care of one of those a few weeks ago. You're helping to take care of the other one here. And I just want to say again that your understanding of what needs to be done, your understanding that we need more power, because a kilowatt of electricity today is worth more than it ever has been in human history, because we can take Pennsylvania natural resources like gas, turn it to electricity, turn it to intelligence, and that intelligence lifts every single industry, not just one industry, not the company that owns the data center. It lifts everybody that uses it. This is going to be the biggest change in human productivity in history, and the U.S. is going to lead thanks to your vision.
Thank you. Listen, I want to just close by saying what an extraordinary group of people here today. Thank you all for coming. As we have, there's just people you could talk for days just listening to the people around this table. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment and investment in Pennsylvania. Thank you all you in the audience. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette ran an article last week, and it said in the first line or two, not since the days of Andrew Carnegie has so much economic power been gathered in one room in Pittsburgh. And I really believe, Mr. President, based on you being here, we're going to look back on this day and say that this was a real seminal moment in the history of our Commonwealth, and maybe even in the history of our country, because not only of you being here, but all the policies that are leading us in this direction and the leadership you're showing. So I want to thank you on behalf of Dean and me. Thank you on behalf of Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania. We're grateful for your leadership, and thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you very much. And I have to say that David said, could you just come in and make a quick statement and then you can leave right away? And I said, okay, good, I'll do it. But when I saw the people gathered, I said, I'm not leaving. I want to learn something, and I have learned something. This is the smartest group of talent probably that you've ever had in terms of energy and even finance ever had in one room. So it's an honor to be with you. I used to do what a lot of you guys did. I like this better, though. I don't care. And you're doing a fantastic job, but really it's an honor to be with you, and congratulations. You're going to have tremendous success all over the country, but you're going to have tremendous success in the Commonwealth. So good luck to everybody. And if I can help you, let me know. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. Great to see you. Great to be with you. Hello, everybody. The trip was nice, and the job they've done is fantastic. And this is what you need. And Ron worked beautifully with Christie and all of the people at Homeland Security, and got it done in how many days, Ron?
8 days. A new facility was up and running. So.
And is this a model going forward, Mr. President?
It can be. I mean, you don't always have land so beautiful and so secure. We have a lot of bodyguards and a lot of cops that are in the form of alligators. You don't have to pay them so much. But I wouldn't want to run through the Everglades for long. It will keep people where they're supposed to be. This is a very important thing. We're setting records at the board. You know, we had no people come through last month. Zero, no people. But we're going to keep it that way. So Ron did great, and I want to thank you.
Well, look, we thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for your leadership. The border, you did that quicker than we knew you'd do it, but you did it so quick, which is great. But Biden let in how many millions, and you got to take care of them. And so this is one example of state operating this. The feds are approving it, supporting it. We're also going to have 2,000 more at Camp Blanding, which is our National Guard site. And we're the only state in the country that mandates our state and locals, law enforcement, to cooperate with ICE. And it's made a huge difference. On any given day, Florida constitutes about 20% of all immigration arrests nationwide, and that's just because of the partnership that we have. So I think it's great that the president's here. What I would just say is, don't let Florida be the only state. We've got very red states that should be doing this just as much as Florida's doing. That will increase their numbers, and then what happens is you'll have a lot of people that will deport on their own because they don't want to end up in an Alligator, Alcatraz, or some of those other places. So I think this is a model, but we need other states to step up.
I was going to ask you, would this be enticing for other states to come up with their own model?
They are doing it. We have Louisiana doing it big. Alabama's doing it. We have a lot of states. They seem to be red states and not too many blue states for whatever reason. You know, it's but the red states, Republican-run states, are doing it. The blue states don't do very well at security and policing, unfortunately. What would you say, Chris?
You know, I would say that exactly right. The governor here has been fantastic in forming this partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. We were looking at different contracts with different vendors and thought, why not go straight to our governors and ask them to help us solve this problem? Florida was unique in what they presented to us, and I would ask every other governor to do the exact same thing. This is unique because we can hold individuals here, they can have their hearings, get due process, and then immediately be flown back home to their home countries. And their home countries are welcoming them. They're setting up loans for houses, they've got food assistance, they're helping to facilitate welcoming them home. I just got home from Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, and they're all excited about getting their individuals back home from the United States. So
and there is a lot of self-deporting. That's
there
one
is.
thing I was actually surprised, but a lot of self-deporting. And when you have something like this, even more so. So I'd ask Ron one question. I flew over the Everglades. We did a little circle. I said, let me see. That's a big piece of land. It took us 25 minutes to fly around. is there potential for enlargement or additional facilities out here?
There may be. I mean, I think what we're doing is, because this is an important part of Florida, we're using the existing footprint of this airport. So when you guys go over there, you'll see all the beds, the medical, the galley, everything is on the concrete. We're not using any of the other stuff. Now, as you'll see, there's a lot of concrete, so there very well may be. I know Secretary Noem and her team have said as soon as the president departs, we'll be open to start receiving folks. And so we'll see what the tempo is. We do have the 2,000 in Northeast Florida that will open very soon. So it is possible to do. One of the things I think that is exciting about this is we're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to appear. Biden would tell them to come back in 3 years and appear. Now you'll be able to appear in like a day or two, so they're not going to be detained hopefully for all that long. We'll have people here in this facility that can make, it's a bureaucracy. The president's got to deal with the bureaucracy. Now, that Supreme Court ruling was good because that's going to allow him to be able to exercise Article 2 the way founders intended, but you still have bureaucracy. So we want to cut through that so that we have an efficient operation between Florida and DHS to get the removal of these illegals done.
Are you prioritizing going after the worst of the worst, or are you now arresting anyone who is here?
We're doing the worst of the worst, always first.
Yes.
And I think it's great government, what we've done. And nobody can ever forget what this group of people, Biden or whoever it was, because probably wasn't even Biden. I don't think he knew what that was doing. Biden, whoever it was, what this group of people, a small group that circled the Resolute desk, what they did to this country. Think of it, what your time, all the time you have to waste doing this. It's an unforced error. We had nothing. We had no problem with this. There was never anything like this. We had great borders. It was bad when I came in. Within 3 months, I fixed them. This is in 2016. Now I come in. The difference is this was 20 times worse. Their open border policy did so much damage to our country, and we're fixing it. But the effort and the money and all the things that it takes to do it is just like an unforced error. Yes.
Mr. President, in 2018, you suggested putting alligators in the Rio Grande to prevent crossings in Texas. Is this a dream come true for you, sir?
Well, I was thinking about that, I must say. It was meant more as a joke, but the more I thought of it, the more I liked it, if you want to know the truth. And they were serious. They were actually crocodiles. They were crocodiles from Africa. They are a step beyond. But no, that was really meant as a joke, but a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people think we should do it, frankly.
The Senate, it appears, is about to vote on
I
your
hear we're doing well,
bill.
Ron. I hear we're doing well.
Are you confident this can get done by the 4th of July?
What does confident mean when you're like, when you have one vote and you have 100 people going to vote? I think so. I think it's going to be the greatest bill ever passed. Even for you, as an example, tremendous amount of Homeland Security money. Oh, tremendous amount. It's going to keep the border secure because, we have them secure now, but we need to build more wall. I built almost 600 miles of wall. We need more wall. And all of that's covered in this bill. This bill is amazing for everybody. It's an amazing bill for Florida, too. Really great for Florida.
Are there concerns about the Medicaid, cuts, though?
No, we're not going to be be with Medicaid. Only waste, fraud, and abuse, Yeah, the Democrats have it wrong. Yeah. Waste, fraud, and abuse. In fact, if you look at what's gone on, we've gone way back. We take care of Medicaid. We take care of Medicare. They will blow Medicare and Medicaid because they have no idea what they're doing. Just like they don't have any idea what they did on the border, they have no idea. Medicaid is in big trouble with the Democrats.
Anyone who loses their health care coverage, that is because of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Waste, fraud, only waste, fraud, and abuse, which is what everybody wants.
Mr. President, Russia has about 50,000 troops stationed outside of Sumy in Ukraine. What will you do if Russia authorizes an offensive?
We'll see what happens. I'm watching it very closely.
Mr. President? About Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit next week, what are you hoping to get out of that? Do you think there'll be any progress?
Well, it's going to be a very quick celebration. We had a great hit. It was a obliteration. Okay, now it turns out it was an obliteration. They demean CNN mostly in the New York Times, fake New York Times. They demean these great soldiers. They went over there 17 hours flying, and they hit bullseye after bullseye after bullseye. It all blew up. Everybody saw it. Then they get back, and CNN said, well, they did okay, but maybe it wasn't. Let me tell you, it was beyond obliteration. Nobody can even get down there. The tunnels are busted. Everything fell into the well. It was a total and complete obliteration, and we should celebrate these heroes. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing them, Ron, we're bringing them to Florida or to the White House. I gave them their choice. I think they're going to take the White House.
Probably.
I shouldn't tell you this.
Mr. President, there's going to be a new bill called Make American Elections Great Again.
I love it.
Forcing the U.S. Census Bureau to redo the census to actually get an account of how many Americans with proof of citizenship are in our area, in our country, redistricting some of the House districts. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll speak for both of us. We love it. Okay, you're going to like this one. I know all about it. We want to bring our elections back. The election in 2020 was rigged, millions and millions of votes. It had to do with COVID and a lot of things, but it really had to do with their crooked people. The Democrats are very good at cheating on elections. And that's why I said too big to rig. They tried this one too. But after about 9:02, they gave up too many votes. Too big to rig. Ron would love it. I would love it. Christie would love it. That's what they have to do. They have to bring it back. And we have to look, Ron, they include anybody that happens to be in your state.
Well, California would lose like 5 seats if they did a fair census. And even beyond that, the Biden census gypped Florida of at least 1 seat. We only got 1 seat in the last census. Are you trying to tell me that Florida only had 1 seat in that? We should have had at least 2. Texas should have had another one. That could be the difference in the House of Representatives in the majority. So I would love for them to redo the census for 26. My legislature will redistrict those lines. We'll get it to where it's fair. But as it's right now, this country is not fairly apportioned. I've got so many more millions of people in Florida that have representation because of that flawed census.
Mr. President, I think it's going to do very well. A lot of people, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's captivated the country. Everybody wants it. It's going to get in, it's going to pass, and we're going to be very happy.
Elon Musk is ripping into this bill again. Are you concerned that Republicans are going to be swayed by Musk and his money?
No, I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. And if Doge looks at Musk, we're going to save a fortune. Thank you very much, everybody. I don't think you should be playing that game with me.
Mr. President, July 9th tariff guideline.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Before the detainees come in.
See what I mean? It's an amazing job. You've all done a great job. Proud of it.
Mr. President, Mr. Governor, what's the message to Governor Gavin Newsom inside of this facility?
Well, the first thing you should do is come here and learn something. Because they don't do this. They don't know. They wouldn't know where to begin. And if they did, it would cost them 100 times more. So I would say he should call the governor and Christie and I'm sure you'd give him, because
I could give him lots of
his state
advice.
is a disaster, and he doesn't do this.
Well, they have the original Alcatraz, so you guys could approve him being able to set one of these up over there. I'm sure the
That's
secretary would be happy to do that and provide. So my sense is he's probably not going to bite on that, but I don't know that they'd be able to come in at cost because they tried to do this high-speed rail. They spent like $150 billion, no tracks. We've got a privately funded rail in Florida from Miami to Orlando, cost the taxpayers $0, and it's very successful. So it's just a much different approach between states.
We're not going to let him get anywhere near Alcatraz. It'll cost 100 times more than they thought. Now, he ought to come here and study this because he could learn a lot. Yes?
Tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow, within the next 24 hours.
They have the doctors, they have all the professionals.
There's going to be a security sweep because there have been civilians here, so they will sweep this multiple times to make sure there's nothing can be used as weapons or any contraband. And then once that's cleared, then they'll do. So it's really up to Secretary. I know has got people in the queue, and so they'll be ready to receive.
I think our viewers at home should know that this is air-conditioned facility.
Yes,
so
it is.
If it even use claims for keeping it out in the hot in South Florida. That is
Air
all
conditioning feels good in here, to be honest. Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here.
What's your expectation of what this will do for the speed and
well, a lot of things, and they're both telling me that these people come in here, they want to go home. And they want to go home, so we immediately send them home, where it's appropriate. Now, if somebody's a real killer, we don't send them anywhere. We put them in a maximum security. Look, what we inherited from this guy, this incompetent man, and his administration, which wasn't incompetent, it was radical left, lunatic, communist, whatever you want to say. I know most of them. What we inherited should never, ever be forgotten. What they've made us do. This is all because of an open border policy where 25 million people flowed in. From all over the world, from prisons, from all over the world they flowed in. For no reason whatsoever. We had, when I left, we had a very powerful border. We had no problem. He opened it up. Day one, he just opened the border. People couldn't believe it. They were standing there. They said, what are they doing? They said, go in. That's it. You look at the first day tapes. They opened it up and they said, go in. And that's where all of this began. But this is an amazing thing that they've done here.
But listen, people don't have to come here. If they self-deport and go home, they can come back legally. We will let them come back legally.
And there is a lot of self-deportation.
Yes, but if you wait and we bring you to this facility, you don't ever get to come back to America. You don't get the chance to come back and be an American again and work here. So
they weren't with us when the President and the Secretary Kevin and I, we went through the intake. So right when you do the intake, they have the information about voluntary departure. They have the ability. Obviously, you guys are funding that because it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. So even if they get brought to the front doorstep here, they still have an opportunity to just go back voluntarily, and then this way they're not.
We can put them on a plane that day and take them home. We'll buy their plane ticket, go home, and then they get the chance to come back legally. If they wait, let's
if
say
they
we're not
do that, they can come back legally after a period of time. Yeah. We want to take care of our farmers and hotel workers and various other people, and we're working on it right now, and Ron's going to be involved, and you're involved already. So we have a lot of cases where ICE will go into a farm, and these are guys working there for 10, 15 years, no problem. The farmers know them. We're going to put, it's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility, where they're going to be largely responsible for these people. And they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden so I have a great, Ron does, Christy does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for others in the same position. And we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything else. They're not getting citizenship, but they get other things. And the farmers need them to do the work. Without those people, you're not going to be able to run your farm. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
Yet you stand here now as partners on the Senate. How would you describe the relationship and what future this
I would say it's a 10. I think it's a 10. Maybe 9-9, because there might be a couple of little wounds. So maybe it's 9. I think we have a 10. We get along great.
Well, the thing about it is, I endorsed him immediately in January 2024. I raised one of his PACs millions and millions of dollars. And obviously, we saved him a lot of money in Florida because Florida was a deep red state. He didn't even have to do a rally in Florida, whereas 2016 and 20, this was like ground zero. And so we've been, really happy to do that. And then we've worked very well on this and other issues with Florida. And you can call him at any time, and he wants to be helpful for governors. I mean, I can tell you that. We did Hurricane Helene last year. You didn't hear from the president at the time then, but with President Trump, we know immediately. You just make the phone call.
Very firm, very firm. But he wants it too. I will tell you. He's coming here next week. He wants to end it too. We had a tremendous success with Iran. They won't have me. Somebody said, "When are you going to sign?" I said, "Sign? They are so bombed out." Did you see the report issued this morning? The place was decimated. It'll be years before anybody even gets down there. So that's not a priority, but we'll have a report and we'll have whatever we want. We'll get whatever we want from Iran. And I think, and I hope they want to have a good country. They have massive sanctions right now, biting sanctions. It's going to be very hard for them to do anything with those sanctions. And I look forward to maybe there'll be a time when we get along with them and they can rebuild their country. Well, he wants to. I can tell you he wants to, and I think we'll have it. I think we'll have a deal next week. That's what I think.
President, do you intend to announce your pick for successor to Jay Powell earlier than say, or as early say this summer or fall?
Will I do something about who it's going to be?
Yes.
I don't know. Hey, he'd be a good candidate. You might do that. She'd be a good candidate, too. Anybody would be better than Jay Powell. No, he's causing us a fortune because he keeps the rate way up. I think it's Trump derangement syndrome personally, but we have a very strong country. We're the strongest country. Look, our country right now is at a level that we haven't seen for 40, 50 years. What we're doing now is nobody's seen anything like it. I told you, I was in the Middle East. The King of Saudi Arabia said to me very strongly, he said, "You know what? A year ago you had a dead country. Now you have the hottest country in the world." We do. We have the hottest country in the world. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll be seeing it over the next couple of years. Also, those type of industries.
Will Kilmore or Breno Garcia be the first inmate here?
Thank you very much, everybody. And I've been briefed on the Florida State University, Tallahassee active shooting. I guess it's an active shooter. Fully briefed as to where we are right now. It's a shame. It's a horrible thing. Horrible that things like this take place. And we'll have more to say about it later. In the meantime, it's an honor to have the Prime Minister of Italy with us, Prime Minister Meloni, who's doing a fantastic job. I would say that she has taken Europe by storm and highly respected. Everybody loves her and respects her, and I can't say that about many people. And she's become a friend, and we really have a great relationship between Italy and ourselves. And we talked about trade. We talked about many, many things during our luncheon, and she'll be saying a few words, but she's a very special person, and it's nice to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for your warm welcome. Thank you for this occasion, which is aimed to strengthen our relation, our friendship that comes from very far. Today is April 17, and April 17 marks the anniversary of the agreement that allowed Cristoforo Colombo to make his trip. And I say to remember how ancient are our ties, but also to remind that we both share another fight, which is the fight against the woke and ADI ideology that would like to erase our history. And as I know that we share lots of things on tackling illegal migration, on fighting against synthetic drugs. You know, Italy has been one of the nations that made a plan against fentanyl, for example. But we have been talking about many bilateral topics and things that we can do together, about defense, about economic, about economy, about space, about energy. Italy will have to increase its LNG imports, and also nuclear that we are trying to develop. I think there can be ways to work together, and the Italian enterprises will invest, as they've been doing for many years, as you know, in the next years, I think around 10 billions. That shows how interconnected our economies are. And that's very important, Mr. President. It's not only about Italy, it's about the entire Europe. The exchange between us is a very big one. Investments, trade, it's a topic that we are discussing in these weeks. But at the end of the day, look, somebody calls me, I was saying it before, such a Western nationalism. I don't know if it is the right word, but I know that when I speak about West, mainly I don't speak about a geographical space. I speak about a civilization. And I want to make that civilization stronger. So I think even if we have some problems, okay, between the two shores of the Atlantic, it is the time that we try to sit down and find solutions. So I want to thank President Trump for having accepted an invitation to pay an official visit to Rome in the near future, and consider the possibility in that occasion to meet also with Europe. The goal for me is to make the West great again, okay? And I think we can do it together.
We can.
We will keep on work on that. I'm going to close. I want to say only, I'm proud of sitting here as Prime Minister of an Italy that today has a very good situation despite the difficulties, a stable country, reliable country, 1 million more jobs in the last 2 years and a half.
Great.
Inflation is going down, so you forgive me if I promote a bit my country,
Yeah,
but you're a businessman and you understand me. So migration flows going down 60%. So we are trying to do our best, but I think we can do it even better together. Also on Ukraine, I will close. Together we've been defending the freedom of Ukraine. Together we can build a just and lasting peace. We support your efforts, Donald.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think we're doing well in that effort, but we want to get it done, and we'll see if we can. We want to save. On average, think of it, every week 2,500 people are being killed, mostly soldiers, Russian, Ukrainian soldiers. And if we can save those lives, that would be a very good thing. And so we'll see what we can do. And I think we're getting close, but we'll let you know very soon. And you've been very helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Any questions?
Mr. President, how much longer does Vladimir Putin have to respond to your ceasefire proposal before you put secondary tariffs or sanctions on Russia?
We'll see what that will be. We're going to be hearing from them this week, very shortly actually, and we'll see. But we want it to stop. We want the death and the killing to stop.
Mr. President, on Jerome Powell, you said that the termination of Jerome Powell cannot come fast enough. He says he won't leave, even if you ask him to.
Oh, he'll leave. If I ask him to, he'll be out of there. But I don't think he's doing the job. He's too late, always too late, a little slow, and I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Question.
Are you trying to remove him, Mr. President?
Yeah, question.
Mr. President, I think Judge Boasberg, in a case against your administration, said the Constitution does not tolerate willful disobedience of judicial order. Do you agree with that statement?
Well, you're going to have to speak to the lawyers. We have great lawyers. I can tell you this, we're doing a fantastic job of getting criminals out of this country who Biden allowed into the country. Hundreds of thousands of criminals, murderers and drug dealers. And I was elected because of the fact I would say maybe that was the number one factor. A lot of reasons, the economy, a lot of things. But one of the primary reasons I was elected is because I said, I'm going to get the criminals that he allowed to come into our country so stupidly through open borders. I'm going to get them out. And I got a lot of votes, record-setting numbers of votes, as you know. We won everything. The popular vote, all 7 swing states, we won everything. And that's what the public wanted. That's what I'm doing. But you'll have to speak to the lawyers because it's up to them.
Mr. President, what do you think of the proposal from France?
Say it.
What do you think of the proposal from France and UK of a peace mission in Ukraine with soldiers? And do you think that Italy should take part into it?
Well, I think Italy will have to make that determination, but peace missions are always good with me. I'm okay with peace missions. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, have you discussed what areas of cooperation have you discussed with the Prime Minister vis-a-vis Italy and the United States and Europe and the United States? And on China?
We discussed it very briefly. No, we're doing very well with negotiations, I think, with all countries. And Scott could tell you a little bit, but we are doing very well. We have a lot of countries that want to make a deal. Frankly, they want to make deals more than I do. Go ahead, Scott. Would you say something, please?
Yeah, we've got a process in place. We're working on the big 15 economies first. We had a fantastic meeting with Japan yesterday. I believe there have been calls with the EU already. And then we have South Korea coming in next week. And I believe India is also talking. That's moving very quickly.
Go ahead.
Ukraine's President Zelensky has said he has evidence that China is supplying weaponry or ammunition to Russia. Do you have any evidence along those lines? And also, he said we could see a minerals deal signed this week. Is that?
Well, we have a minerals deal, which I guess is going to be signed on Thursday, Scott, next Thursday, soon. And I assume they're going to live up to the deal, so we'll see. But we have a deal on that. No, I have no comment on that. I have no idea. That's his statement, not mine.
Mr. President, there are reports that you waved off an Israeli attack on Iranian nuclear facilities. Can you comment on that? Is that accurate?
And they say the attack is what?
That you waved off an Israeli plan to attack Iranian nuclear facilities.
I wouldn't say waved off. I'm not in a rush to do it because I think that Iran has a chance to have a great country and to live happily without death. And I'd like to see that. That's my first option. If there's a second option, I think it would be very bad for Iran. And I think Iran is wanting to talk. I hope they're wanting to talk. It's going to be very good for them if they do. And I'd like to see Iran thrive in the future, do fantastically well. I know the Iranian people, they're incredible people. Always have been very smart, very energetic, very successful people. And I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt anybody. I really don't. But Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. It's, pretty simple. It's really simple. We're not looking to take their industry. We're not looking to take their land. All we're saying is you can't have a nuclear weapon. The deal that was made with Obama, that deal would have expired already. It was a terrible deal. It would have expired. And that gave them a clear path to a nuclear weapon. I wouldn't have accepted. That's why I terminated the deal. Number one, it was way too short. When countries are involved, you don't make short-term deals. These are countries with long lives. And I terminated that. And it was a great termination because it didn't allow us to do anything once it terminated. You know what the deal was. It was a terrible deal. Really, one of many terrible deals made by the U.S. But no, I'd like to see Iran thrive. And they can do that, I think, very easily, or they can do it the other way. And the other way is not going to be good for them. It's going to be really bad for them.
President, what do you make of the Nvidia CEO going to China and met with trade officials there?
Well, Jensen's an amazing guy. He's become a friend of mine. And I don't know, he's a person that's very proud of our country. He loves our country. I'm not worried about Jensen at all.
Mr. President, we're holding you in contempt. Will you take steps to return Kilmar Abrego Garcia to the United States and put him in front of a judge?
Well, I'm not involved in it. I'm going to respond that by saying you'll have to speak to the lawyers, the DOJ. I've heard many things about him, and we'll have to find out what the truth is. But I will say this, you know, we were inundated by millions of people, many millions of people during the Biden administration. They say 21 million. And a big percentage of those are criminals, serious criminals. I'm not saying just criminal because they came into the border illegally. I'm saying they're criminals at the highest level, murderers. Many of those people murdered more than one person, and they're on the loose. And I was elected to get rid of those criminals, to get them out of our country, or to put them away, but to get them out of our country. And I don't see how judges can take that authority away from a president. We've done an amazing job, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem. We have done an amazing job. Nobody can believe the job we've done. Far greater than what I said. I mean, I got elected on that, but we've done much better. We have, right now, 99% border. It's a 99%. Nobody thought that would even be, nobody's coming through our border, practically. 2 weeks ago, we had 9 people come through, all for medical reasons. We allowed them. We brought them through because one had a heart attack, one had something else, and, all for medical reasons. We have a great border. We had a great border 4 years ago, but we have a border now that's even tighter, and we did that in a matter of weeks. And no, we have to. We need to get murderers and drug dealers and people that were in jail for horrible. You know, they released jails, Georgia, from all over the world. They released them, not just South America, all over the world, the Congo and Africa. Many, many people come from the Congo. I don't know what that is, but they came from the Congo. And all over the world they came in, opened their jails. Venezuela, practically all of their prisoners released into our country. We took them because we had an incompetent administration called the Biden administration. And to think what they've done to our country. And I was elected to straighten that out, and I'm doing that. But we have activist judges that don't want murderers to be sent out of our country. They don't want killers and drug dealers and drug lords and people from mental institutions. They want them to stay in our country, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's the liberal way, or as they call it nowadays, the progressive way. But I don't think it's the way that our country believes, and that's why I won in a landslide. Okay.
Back on train, Mr. President, you did say that you were confident these deals will be done, but you also said that you're in no rush. Americans are seeing prices rise. They're seeing it on their bills. How long can they expect that pain to last?
So they've already seen it get much better, because if you were truthful, which you're not, you know, I know you very well, you have gasoline that hit $1.98 yesterday in a couple of states. You have gasoline's way down. The price of oil has dropped substantially. The price of groceries are substantially down. The price of eggs, you know, when I came in, they hit me with eggs. I just got there. I was here for 1 week, and they started screaming at me, eggs have gone through the roof. I said, I just got here. I was there for 7 days, and I hear that eggs have gone through the roof before I got there. And they were screaming at me, the press, the fake news, like you're fake. And the fake news is screaming at me, like, about eggs. I said, I've only been here, this is my 7th day. And they were right. They went up 87%, and you couldn't get them. They said, you won't have eggs for Easter, which is coming up. Happy Easter, everybody. You won't have eggs for Easter. And we did an unbelievable job, and now eggs are all over the place, and the price went down 92%. And our Commissioner of Agriculture, Brooke, has done a fantastic job. They really have done a fantastic job. So prices haven't gone up. The only thing that's gone up, actually, is interest rates, because we have a Federal Reserve Chairman that is playing politics. Somebody that I've never been very fond of, actually. But he's playing politics. Interest rates should be down now. They should be coming down. In Europe, as you know, they reduced them, I guess 7 times. It looks like they're going to reduce them again and again and again. But our guy wants to play cute. But interest rates are pretty much even. Maybe they went up just a slight bit, but that's the only thing. But that's because of the Federal Reserve, because they're not very smart people. Go ahead, yes, sir, please. Go ahead, please.
Do you regret nominating him?
Look, in the first 4 years, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Stock market went up 88 points. I think he's terrible, but I can't complain because we had the most successful administration economically in the history of our country. I think we're going to do even better this time because you will see that the numbers that we're taking in are astronomical. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money with the tariffs. We were treated very unfairly on trade, and countries are having a hard time getting used to the fact that they can't do that to us anymore because we have a real president. We have a president that understands what it's all about. We had presidents that, in some cases, were smart, but they didn't understand business, or they didn't like business, or, you know, it wasn't like a priority. And then you had, like, the last administration, the only thing they were good at was cheating in elections. That's about all they could do. They couldn't do anything. They were useless. They were incompetent. Worst administration in the history of our country. Worse than Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter died a happy man. You know why? Because he wasn't the worst president. Joe Biden was. So I think you're going to see some fantastic numbers when this all happens. It's happening now. I mean, everybody wants to make a deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, we'll make the deal for them. Because that's what's going to happen. We'll just say, this is what it is. But we want to listen to everybody. And I think I can say for Scott and the other people that are working on it that we're listening, and we're going to be very fair to people. But, you know, we're the one that really sets the deal, and that's what we'll be doing. Okay. Go ahead, please. Please.
Question to our Prime Minister.
Oh, you have a great Prime Minister. You're so lucky. Yes.
In italiano?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
I'm not sure that would be.
Presidente Meloni, volevo sapere cosa pensava del fatto che il Presidente Trump ha considerato responsabile Zelensky della guerra in Ucraina e poi se avete parlato delle spese militari e qual è il limite massimo a cui ha detto che può arrivare l'Italia, le percentuali delle spese militari.
Abbiamo parlato dei limiti massimi a cui può arrivare l'Italia, abbiamo parlato del fatto che l'Italia sta mantenendo i suoi impegni perché arriverà al prossimo vertice della NATO con il 2% che era già previsto, che è stato sottoscritto dai governi precedenti, perché siamo una nazione seria, ma non abbiamo parlato poi di quanto vada aumentata questa percentuale, anche se siamo ovviamente consapevoli che insomma, il tema della difesa sia un tema particolarmente importante di questo tempo. Per quello che riguarda la guerra in Ucraina, lei sa come la penso che ci sia chiaramente diciamo ci sia stata un'invasione e che l'invasore da quel punto di vista fosse Putin e la Russia, ma non è questo che diciamo oggi quello che rivela il fatto che insieme vogliamo lavorare, stiamo lavorando per cercare di arrivare in Ucraina a una pace che possa essere giusta e duratura. Penso che questi siano gli sforzi sui quali condividiamo il nostro lavoro, abbiamo condiviso anche oggi il nostro lavoro.
That sounded absolutely. That was so beautiful. What the hell was that? What did she say, please? No, I mean it sounded great.
It was about.
It was beautifully presented, but maybe I could hear what she said. Please, go ahead.
It was about asking.
Guys,
Hold it.
Have some respect, please.
Thank you. No, wait. I want to hear what she said. Go ahead.
Prime Minister Meloni was asked what she thinks about the fact that President Trump holds Zelensky responsible for the war in Ukraine. And Prime Minister Meloni answered, well, actually, we have no, and also if you talked about the military spending, and the raising of the military spending,
yeah.
And the first thing Prime Minister Meloni said is that no, actually, we didn't talk about the raise in military spending. Of course, Italy will keep its commitments with 2%, and then we will see, because we are absolutely aware of the fact that it is very important
well, I will do
defense
that.
Is very
wait,
important.
I will do that. Important. They've been asking if we decided another percentage about the defense spendings, and I said NATO. Yes, NATO, and I said that Italy is reaching the 2% as it was already decided. We didn't speak about a specific other percentage, but we are aware of the fact that defense is important for the future, and we see what also the work that we are trying to do at the European level.
And I don't hold Zelensky responsible, but I'm not exactly thrilled with the fact that that war started. That was a war that would have never started if I were president. You'd have millions of people living right now that are dead. You'd have cities that would be open and thriving and that have their beautiful turrets. Those turrets are the most beautiful in the world, but they're not with us any longer. They're smashed to smithereens, laying on the ground in a million pieces, getting hit by rockets, bombs, and bullets. And so I'm not happy with him, and I'm not happy with anybody involved. I think it's a war. I know it's a war. It didn't happen for 4 years. It was never close to happening. It was never even a thought. And I spoke to President Putin about it a lot. It was the apple of his eye, but there's no way he would have ever gone in if I were president. Now I'm trying to get him to stop because, as you know, Russia's a lot bigger. It's a bigger military force. And if you're smart, you don't go involved and get involved in wars that you can blame the man that was sitting in this seat, Biden. He didn't know what the hell was going on. But I can guarantee you that, and everybody agrees to it, if I were president, that war would have never taken place. I'm not blaming him. But what I am saying is that I wouldn't say he's done the greatest job. Okay? I'm not a big fan. I really am. I'm not a big fan. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Important why we're here today. Acting Administrator Murphy, thank you for everything you do. We've been to DEA labs together. You have been fighting this every day, and I can't thank you enough. It's been an incredible few weeks for the DEA nationwide. We're here today to announce the historic success through Operation Take Back America. We should remember why this work matters. We're honored today to be here with Chelsea Curtis. She is a brave sister. She lost 2 of her brothers to drug overdoses, 1 to heroin, and her second brother she lost to cocaine that was laced with fentanyl. Chelsea works with us here at the Department of Justice, and she's in the District of Virginia, and she does amazing work, and she is paying it forward by looking out for other victims and their families and fighting this epidemic throughout our country. Thank you, Chelsea, for being here with us. Over the 4th of July weekend, DEA agents executed successful operations throughout this country, one in Columbia, South Carolina, where they seized 71 kilos of fentanyl and 20 kilos of methamphetamine. This is very near the University of South Carolina, where dealers, we all know, often target college kids. They put these drugs in pill forms to go after our kids. This includes a seizure in Fresno, California, also 4th of July weekend. Acting Director Murphy is going to get into details about these, but this is why this is so important, and this is something new that I hadn't seen. 24 pounds of carfentanil disguised as real prescription pills. Carfentanil, we all know, is even stronger than fentanyl. They often call it the elephant tranquilizer. And it was carfentanil in prescription pills to look like oxycodone. That should terrify every parent in this country. In many cases, illegal aliens are doing the work of cartels in our communities. In one recent example, just 2 weeks ago, the DEA arrested an illegal alien sitting in the front passenger seat of a trailer truck that contained over 700 pounds of methamphetamine. 700 pounds. Something else I hadn't seen?
Bangalore's premium laundry and dry cleaning, repairs and cobbler service provider, Spin Cycles. A one-stop shop experience backed by state-of-art facilities, from dry cleaning blazers and designer wares to the roll pressing and polish of Kanchipuram and Benares silks. From home linens, quilts and carpets, everything is taken care with fast turnarounds. And the best part, all the services are at your fingertips. With a water reuse system, you also get to save around 6 liters of water per garment. Ready for a refreshing laundry experience? Download the app, schedule a pickup, and let us breathe new life into your favorites.
Catch a glimpse of the future with our new parallel screening photoreactor, a game changer for fundamental research in labs. Imagine irradiating and mixing 9 8-milliliter vials in parallel, each with different or identical wavelengths. Control the light intensity precisely for each vial. For correct comparability, choose the equal photon flux mode for all different wavelengths, regardless of LED efficiency. The reaction temperature can be maintained constant over a long period of time. In the world of science, innovation is key, and we're proud to introduce the PX9 parallel screening photoreactor as a product that is taking laboratory work to new heights. It enables photochemical wavelength screening as an established standard method in the laboratory to find the most relevant and efficient wavelength for your photochemical process. Setting up the pre-calibrated photochemical screening device is quick and easy, allowing you to irradiate 9 different vials with a filling volume of
They are now putting methamphetamine in a pill form. First time we've seen that. A pill form. Now, a pill form of methamphetamine might not kill you instantly, but it can get you so addicted to meth that it can destroy your life instantly. DOJ attorneys will continue to prosecute these violent criminals, and they're all violent. If you are dealing in these drugs to Americans, to any citizen in this world, you're a violent criminal, and we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Since January 20th, DEA has been removing this poison from our streets at a historic rate. They've seized over 44 million fentanyl pills, over 45. Thanks to President Trump, we're able to take the handcuffs off our law enforcement officers, our great men and women at DEA who are out there every single day risking their lives to protect us and to protect our families. One big beautiful bill enhances our law enforcement capabilities by also including money for technology that will help our agents catch these criminals. And they're getting so sophisticated. And Acting Director Murphy is going to explain to you. I've never seen anything like this either in my entire career as a prosecutor, how sophisticated they are in smuggling these drugs into our country. Now, I'm going to let him explain that to you with a truckload of cucumbers that came into our country. In addition to one big beautiful bill, the Halt Fentanyl Act that was passed through Congress is now headed to the White House. That will help us because it analogs. Previously, these drugs that were coming into our country, they would change the precursors as fast as they can so they wouldn't be illegal coming into our country. No longer with the Halt Fentanyl Act. Also now, if a criminal is in possession of 100 grams or more of any fentanyl-related substance, they will face 10 years in prison minimum. President Trump, the Department of Justice, and the great men and women at the DEA will continue to fight to make America safe again. We will fight from Tampa to the Twin Cities, from Nassau County to the Golden Coast, and I can't wait for you to hear these recent cases that were just made. And to the Angel families and our incredible Angel sister who lost two brothers to drugs, and everyone affected by fentanyl, know that every day we will be out there fighting for you and your loved ones. The most important reminder we can give you here today, to high school kids, to college kids, to parents, to talk to your kids, do not buy, take, accept any drug, any prescription drug from anyone off the street, even if it's a friend. Do not accept it. This is why. This is a real Adderall pill. This is a fake Adderall pill. You can't tell the difference. These are laced with drugs that could kill you. Over here, the oxycodone, the fake ones and the real ones. This is what was seized in Fresno, California. In Fresno, right?
Yes.
Amounts that could kill so many of our high school and college kids. They think that buying this on the street corner won't hurt them, but it will, and it can kill you. And that's why they're targeting places close to our universities as well. I'm going to let Acting Director Murphy now fill you in on all the details of these very, very important arrests that were made just within the last couple weeks. Thank you all for your attention to this very important matter.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi.
Hi, I am Madhuri from Provident, and today we will be talking about a project which is inspired.
Men and women of the DEA lead the fight against the Mexican cartels. These cartels are responsible for the manufacturing, the smuggling, and the distribution, and then the subsequent collection of the money, because that's what's driving this problem is profit, and making sure that money makes it back into Mexico. How do we measure success? DEA works tirelessly every day to disrupt and dismantle these cartels. We are second to none at developing intelligence, interpreting it, and actioning it. Without the intelligence, these cases I'm going to talk about, we would never be able to make. You are not going to randomly stop the amount of vehicles that we haven't come across at port of entry. There's no way. And some could be million a day. There's no way we're going to be able to stop every vehicle, search it, and find this. Without the actionable intelligence, the technology that we're hopefully going to be getting based on the new bill, help us get better at doing our job and preventing this stuff from making it to the street in the first place. But we recognize that's not enough by itself. We have a responsibility to ensure the public is aware that threats posed by the cartels that endanger both public safety and national security, and this is where all of you come in today. We are seeing a disturbing trend. Cartels are now producing methamphetamine pills. We started seeing it in 2024 at a tremendous amount. We've already seized more methamphetamine pills this year than we did the entire year of 2024. These are made to look like popular drugs that our youngest men and women want, our college-age students. This is an effort by the cartels, a deliberate effort. Our young men and women are not seeking out methamphetamine pills. They are not seeking to get that. Unfortunately, they are being deceived into a life of potential addiction. We are fighting back, bringing this fight to the front lines. Fentanyl remains the leading cause of death for Americans between the ages of 18 and 45. Fentanyl and methamphetamine together are the toxic evidence that cartels have no value of life. Over the past few weeks, as the Attorney General mentioned, we've made historic seizures in multiple cities targeting these cartels who were recently designated by the President as foreign terrorist organizations. Attorney General spoke about Lexington, South Carolina, right outside Columbia University, University of South Carolina and Columbia. 156 pounds of meth. There was also, 156 pounds of fentanyl along with meth, weapons, cash, and an illegal alien that had previously been deported twice. Fresno, California, the 24 pounds of carfentanil, that's frightening. That's a large amount of any drug, let alone carfentanil. That cannot hit the streets. Luckily, we were able to stop it from getting the street. Gainesville, Georgia, suburb right outside of Atlanta. The 706 pounds of methamphetamine the Attorney General made mention of hidden in a shipment of cucumbers that crossed the Mexican border. Obviously, DEA intelligence led to that. We had not seen this unique. It was not a standard size kilo packages. They were cut in half, and they were built into the boxes that contained the cucumbers. So when you picked up a box, there was no way. So the average trooper or anybody stopping that truck, that 18-wheeler that had tons of cucumbers on it, opened up the back and looked. Unless you knew you were looking for this, there's no way you would have found it. And again, One of the individuals arrested there, an illegal alien deported twice, most recently after serving a federal conviction for drug trafficking, cocaine. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 889 pounds of methamphetamine. Again, one of the persons arrested in that case previously deported. Kern County, California, Bakersfield. Along with our partners, we shut down a meth conversion lab. This is where we see where meth comes across the border in a liquid form, has to be converted back into something that's usable. It's useless in a liquid. It's converted back into crystallized methamphetamine. So very dangerous for the neighborhoods when you live in those areas. Toxic chemicals. This is some of the very, very toxic. The house easily explodes with the chemicals they're mixing. They seized 240 pounds of crystal meth that was finished and another 150 pounds of liquid meth that was in process. Galveston, Texas. Along with our other federal partners, CBP and others, we were able to seize 1,700 pounds of methamphetamine worth over the $15 million hidden inside a vehicle that was crossing into the United States. Two days ago in Austin, Texas, along with law enforcement partners, we seized an additional 785 pounds of methamphetamine hidden amongst the pallet of blueberries. Let me say this again. This is a national security threat, not just a drug problem. We are taking the fight directly to the cartels, not just at home, but internationally, across our borders, and online, through online platforms. We are not just seizing drugs, we are also dismantling the cartel's logistics and their finance networks. Just recently, DEA agents in Miami seized over $10 million in cryptocurrency directly linked to the Sinaloa cartel. In Omaha, we seized numerous handguns, including machine gun conversion devices, along with 40,000 fentanyl pills in a raid that was run by a locally based polydrug linked to a Mexican cartel. Just recently in Chicago, multi-state takedown in Indiana, Kentucky, and Arizona resulted in the seizure of 59 illegal firearms possessed by serious violent felons, along with 74 pounds of methamphetamine, 11 pounds of fentanyl, 11 pounds of cocaine, cash, and 23 individuals who were arrested. Every seizure demonstrates the reach the cartels have throughout the United States. Make no mistake, the cartels are operating in every corner of this country, and so are we. At this point, we'll take questions. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Administrator, I would like to get your perspective on what exactly is driving this, but I also have an off-topic question for the Attorney General.
Starting a company in the Netherlands? Why the Netherlands? 15% corporate tax from 2021.
In response to comments that President Trump made a short time ago, just a few moments ago on the South Lawn, he said that he would support you releasing additional credible evidence from the Epstein investigation. Is that something that you are open to doing?
Let me
He said
take
this
that.
just a few moments ago.
Let me take that first. This today is about fentanyl. This is about a wall of people right outside this room who have died from, I appreciate your question, but this today is about fentanyl overdoses throughout our country and people who have lost loved ones to fentanyl. That's the message that we're here to send today. Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein. Go ahead.
And so to your first question about what's driving this, clearly it's driven by profit. It's all it is. Mexican cartels are driven by profit only. These are business decisions. Everything we talked about today, whether it's how they're smuggling across the bill and the innovation they use to get it across the border, also the attempt at, quite frankly, during the 4th of July holiday, we think it was a concerted effort that they flood us because they thought there'd be less law enforcement working at that time, and they sent as much as they could across the border into numerous cities. Didn't work out well for them. Also, the decision to start making methamphetamine pills, business decision, like any other company in America. They look at what is wanted, unfortunately. Taking a pill has a lot less stigma than shooting a drug in your arm, snorting it, smoking it. But that makes it that much more dangerous because it's less threatening to our young people who, again, from a national security standpoint, that 18 to 45-year-old men and women, that's who makes up our U.S. military, and we're losing them at historic rates. That is not what we can allow to continue, and that's what we're here to fight and continue to fight it. Yes, ma'am.
I have an on-topic and the different actions that you took over that weekend, can you talk to us about how many individuals are going to be facing criminal prosecution, not simply just being deported, perhaps, arrested and sent?
Everybody arrested in this will be facing. This is a serious amount of drugs.
Do you have a number?
Well, I don't off the top of my head because it was in multiple cities, but I think most of the, pretty much at every place we're talking about, I don't have an exact number.
And to jump in on that same topic, though, minimum 10 years in prison for almost all of these defendants, some 20, some 40, depending on the amount of drugs, the type of drugs, the level of drugs. Go ahead.
My off-topic question
Sure.
for you, Attorney General. Today on social media, President Trump made allegations about mortgage fraud against Senator Schiff. I'm wondering if you can comment on that and whether or not that issue has been referred and will be looked at by the
Yeah, I just was told about those comments walking into this room, and we don't comment on whether there is or is not a pending investigation. But thank you. Anything else on topic today? Go ahead.
Madam Attorney General, on this matter of fentanyl, which
Yeah.
is a priority clearly for the DEA, Department of Justice, are you confident you're going to still be here to execute this because there's so many people calling for change at the Department of Justice?
I'm going to be here for as long as the president wants me here, and I believe he's made that crystal clear. It's 4 years, well, 3.5 now, right? We've got 6 months in, and it feels like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was with Director Patel this morning, and we are working on fighting violent crime. We are working on all these issues that we deeply care about to make America safe again and get these drugs off our streets. You know, we've been working on this since my really last 2 years. Fentanyl was coming on the market when I was State Attorney General. And now with these cartels, it's coming back, it's coming in more than ever, and the border has stopped that, but we're going to catch them and we're going to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Yes, sir.
Madam Attorney General, is there disruption at the leadership of DOJ and the FBI with your relationship with Dan Bongino that is affecting the operations of the DOJ?
No, I'm not going to talk about personnel matters. No, I was with Director Patel all morning, and we are committed to keeping America safe, making America safe, working with our incredible partners at DEA, FBI, ATF, U.S. Marshals, to do everything we can to make America safe, and that's what we're focused on. And today, we're focused on protecting our kids. And I would ask all of you, when you leave, go look at that wall outside, right outside this room, of all the fentanyl deaths, all the faces of fentanyl that you have done an amazing job putting up. Thank you all.
Deputy Director Bongino.
Following up on that.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to follow up on that question. I think the American people have a lot of questions about your relationship with the Deputy FBI Director. Do you believe that he should stay in his role?
I'm not going to discuss personnel matters. I think we all are committed to working together now to make America safe again, and that's what we're doing. Only on topic, guys. Go ahead.
First of all, I believe when you're in a public forum, you can choose or not choose to answer any questions, but I don't believe it is your right to ask us to restrict those questions. That said, I will keep this on topic.
Thank you.
How can you keep America safe again when the president's budget for 2026 cuts DEA?
You know, when we talk about resumes, adding Microsoft Excel as a skill.
By $212 million and the FBI by $500 million.
Yeah.
Do you support those cuts? Do you think they will harm your capacity to fight?
Well, it won't. That's a great question. It won't harm our capacity to fight. I'll tell you that. We can always do more with more, but we can do more with less, and that's what we're committed to doing. The big, beautiful bill also adds a tremendous amount for us in combating especially the drug crisis, billions of dollars, I believe.
I think it's $500 million.
Yeah, let me see, 3.5, yeah, $3.3 billion in the big, beautiful bill to combat drug trafficking, support the prosecution of immigration matters, and gang-related crimes. So that crosses all agencies as well. So that bill will greatly help us as well, in addition to the budget. We also have a $3.5 billion reimbursement fund for state and local agencies that are enforcing the Immigration Act, drug and human trafficking laws. And human trafficking is also something we're not talking about today, but is very, very important to us. Yes, there are billions of additional dollars in addition to the original budget. So that was a great question. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I think that's all.
The president said today you would release credible files related to Mr. Epstein. Are you prepared to do that, and when would you?
Our memo today, our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else. I haven't seen all of his statements today. Thank you.
How would you respond to the MAGA base that has expressed a lot of frustration about it?
We're going to fight to keep America safe again, and we're fighting together as a team. That's what's so important right now. You know, we've got a war on drugs. We've got a war on human trafficking. We've got cartels in this country, and we are going to do. We've got foreign adversaries around this world as well, and we're all going to work together as a team to fight to keep America safe again. And I can tell you that's what we're all committed to. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for, please show these pictures today. Thank you.
If anybody needs B-roll, there's some B-roll, especially of the cucumbers, the thing I talked about, some great video of that. If you need it, Shanaz, we can get that to them. So there's plenty of it, yes.
Is there anything new on Canada? The president has talked about with respect to tariffs, the potential concern from Canada. Have you seen anything recently that would be useful for the public to know about fentanyl from Canada?
I can just say that I myself have met with Canada, but I'm going to leave the rest of that to the president on those. But we've met and had discussions, at least on 2 different occasions.
And we're going to do everything we can to keep every border safe, not just the border in Mexico. And the reason we wanted you to look at the cucumbers, I've never seen anything like it. There's a video of it that they'll get you. But when you took the cucumbers out of the box, they just look like a normal vegetable crate. And they even changed the packaging and the shape of the kilos to fit underneath the cardboard, where it was virtually impossible to detect, but they did detect it. So, and some of these new funds will help us with technology to continue to take these drugs off our street. Thank you all, and thanks for covering this.
Can you get us the number of charged individuals charged?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
we can do that.
And they can get you the time they're facing too, whether it's 10, 20, or
I guess 7 times. It looks like they're going to reduce them again and again and again. But our guy wants to play cute. But interest rates are pretty much even. Maybe they went up just a slight bit, but that's the only thing. But that's because of the Federal Reserve, because they're not very smart people.
Do you regret
Go ahead. Yes, sir, please. Go ahead, please.
Do you regret nominating him, Jerome Powell?
Look, in the first 4 years, we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Stock market went up 88 points. I think he's terrible, but I can't complain because we had the most successful administration economically in the history of our country. I think we're going to do even better this time because you will see that the numbers that we're taking in are astronomical. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money with the tariffs. We were treated very unfairly on trade, and countries are having a hard time getting used to the fact that they can't do that to us anymore because we have a real president. We have a president that understands what it's all about. We had presidents that, in some cases, were smart, but they didn't understand business, or they didn't like business, or, you know, it wasn't like a priority. And then you had, like, the last administration, the only thing they were good at was cheating in elections. That's about all they could do. They couldn't do anything. They were useless. They were incompetent. Worst administration in the history of our country. Worse than Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter died a happy man. You know why? Because he wasn't the worst president. Joe Biden was. So I think you're going to see some fantastic numbers when this all happens. It's happening now. I mean, everybody wants to make a deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, we'll make the deal for them. Because that's what's going to happen. We'll just say, this is what it is. But we want to listen to everybody. And I think I can say for Scott and the other people that are working on it that we're listening and we're going to be very fair to people. But, you know, we're the one that really sets the deal, and that's what we'll be doing. Okay? Yeah, go ahead, please. Please.
A question to our Prime Minister.
Oh, you have a great Prime Minister. You're so lucky. Yes.
In Italiano.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Okay.
I'm not sure that was right.
Presidente Meloni, volevo
generale abbiamo parlato del fatto che l'Italia sta mantenendo i suoi impegni perché arriverà al prossimo vertice della Nato con il 2% che era già previsto, che è stato sottoscritto dai governi precedenti, perché siamo una nazione seria, ma non abbiamo parlato poi di quanto vada aumentata questa percentuale, anche se siamo ovviamente consapevoli che insomma, il tema della difesa sia un tema particolarmente importante di questo tempo. Per quello che riguarda la guerra in Ucraina, lei sa come la penso che ci sia chiaramente diciamo ci sia stata un'invasione e che l'invasore da quel punto di vista fosse Putin e la Russia, ma non è questo che diciamo oggi quello che rivela il fatto che insieme vogliamo lavorare, stiamo lavorando per cercare di arrivare in Ucraina a una pace che possa essere giusta e duratura. Penso che questi siano gli sforzi sui quali condividiamo il nostro lavoro, abbiamo condiviso anche oggi il nostro lavoro.
That sounded absolutely. That was so beautiful. What the hell was that? What did she say, please? No, I mean it sounded great.
It was about.
It was beautifully presented, but maybe I could hear what she said. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
It was about asking.
Guys,
Hold it.
have some respect, please.
Thank you. No, wait. I want to hear what she said. Go ahead.
Yeah, Prime Minister Meloni was asked what she thinks about the fact that President Trump holds Zelensky responsible for the war in Ukraine. And Prime Minister Meloni answered, well, actually, we have no, and also if you talked about the military spending, and the raising of the military spending,
yeah.
and the first thing Prime Minister Meloni said is that no, actually, we didn't talk about the raise in military spending. Of course, Italy will keep its commitments with 2%, and then we will see, because we are absolutely aware of the fact that it is very important to
well, I will do
defense
that.
is very
wait.
important.
I will do that.
Important.
They've been asking if we decided another percentage about the defense spendings,
NATO,
and I said
NATO.
yes, NATO, and I said that Italy is reaching the 2% as it was already decided. We didn't speak about a specific other percentage, but we are aware of the fact that defense is important for the future, and we see what also the work that we are trying to do at the European level.
And I don't hold Zelensky responsible, but I'm not exactly thrilled with the fact that that war started. That was a war that would have never started if I were president. You'd have millions of people living right now that are dead. You'd have cities that would be open and thriving, and they'd have their beautiful turrets. Those turrets are the most beautiful in the world, but they're not with us any longer. They're smashed to smithereens, laying on the ground in a million pieces, getting hit by rockets, bombs, and bullets. And so I'm not happy with him, and I'm not happy with anybody involved. I think it's a war. I know it's a war. It didn't happen for 4 years. It was never close to happening. It was never even a thought. And I spoke to President Putin about it a lot. It was the apple of his eye, but there's no way he would have ever gone in if I were president. Now I'm trying to get him to stop because, as you know, Russia's a lot bigger. It's a bigger military force. And if you're smart, you don't go involved and get involved in wars that you can blame the man that was sitting in this seat, Biden. He didn't know what the hell was going on. But I can guarantee you that, and everybody agrees to it, if I were president, that war would have never taken place. I'm not blaming him. But what I am saying is that I wouldn't say he's done the greatest job. Okay? I'm not a big fan. I really am. I'm not a big fan.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Presidente Meloni, avete discusso di Cina, della possibilità che l'Europa ponga dei dazi, diciamo, sulla Cina. Mr. President, are you sure about the definition of parasite of European? Would you say again that European are parasites?
It's never said.
Would you say again that
The European.
Have you said that Europeans are parasites?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't said. I don't know.
He didn't say it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. No, wait, next. Go.
Prime Minister Meloni just said we want to make Europe great again, and we want to do it together with the United
Sure.
West, yeah.
Did you, I guess that's what you said, Mr. Prime Minister, how are you going to do that? And are you looking to do it to counter China, who is really trying to gather influence against the United States with the help of this joint?
I hope that Europe is going to be great again. Europe is going through a lot of problems, and a lot of it's having to do with immigration. And I'm not a big fan of Europe and what they've done with immigration at all. And I think they got to get smart, because Europe is being very badly hurt by what they've done with immigration. Now, I'll say this, that the Prime Minister has taken a very tough stand on immigration. And I commented to her before. I said, I wish more people would be like you having to do with that subject, but they're not. Europe is very important to me. Europe is very important to the world. I want Europe to do very well. I think they have to get a lot smarter on immigration.
But we are beginning doing it. You've all seen how the policies of the European Union in the last, let's say, 2.5 years have been changing. Okay, at the beginning we were talking only about how we were redistributing illegal migrants coming to Italy. Now we are talking mainly about how to stop illegal migration, work with the countries of origin and transit, and to return people. The European Commission just did the new rules about repatriations and things like that. So things are changing, thanks also to the example that Italy brought in lowering the rates of illegal migration. So we are working now together. So I'm optimistic on that.
Good. I hope so. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I'd like to ask President Meloni if you have discussed the option of a starting deal with Italy on satellite communications, and President Trump, if you want to see the Google company.
The Google what?
The Google company.
What about
the
it?
Google business.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, we didn't discuss about Starlink. We've been discussing about defense space. We will work together also in the Mars missions. So there are big things to do together, but we didn't discuss it.
Prime Minister, that changed your mind potentially about tariffs and what you plan to do going forward?
No.
Is there anything the Prime Minister said to you that changed your perspective?
No, tariffs are making us rich. We were losing a lot of money under Biden, trillions of dollars, trillions on trade. And now that whole tide has turned. We're making a lot of money. We're taking in a lot of money. Don't forget, we're taking in 25% on cars, 25% on steel, 25% on aluminum, 10% baseline. We put penalties on China for sending us fentanyl. We put penalties on Mexico and Canada, 25% for allowing fentanyl and allowing the borders to be weak. Now we're taking in billions and billions of dollars while I sit here and talk to you. And we didn't take in anything before, other than the tariffs that I put on previous to Biden, which were the tariffs I put on China, where we took in, up until this point, probably $700 billion. They were Trump tariffs. He tried to weaken them. He did everything he could. You know, he got paid money by China, right? The family got paid money. He did. And so I don't know, maybe that was the reason, or maybe it wasn't. But he tried to weaken them, but he couldn't, because there was so much money that his budgets, you know, they couldn't stand not doing it. But I took in the, up till this point, my tariffs on China. Nobody ever took in 10 cents from China. No other president took in 10 cents. I took in more than $700 billion from China. So we're doing very well. I mean, our country's doing very well. They had a bad report today from one of the healthcare companies that had an impact on the stock market. But this isn't about that. This is really, we're building a base. We're building a country like no other. And again, I had the strongest economy in the history of our country by far, history of any country probably, but the history of our country in 4 years. And I think this has a chance to be much better.
Can you
I don't know exactly. I'm going to leave that to Scott. What do you think? Where would it be signed and when?
Yeah, we're still working on the details. We're shooting for around April 26th.
Is there any more detail that you could tell us about what's in that deal and how it came together?
It's substantially what we'd agreed on previously when the president was here. We had a memorandum of understanding. We went straight to the big deal, and I think it's an 80-page agreement, and that's what we'll be signing.
President Trump, on rate cuts, can you clarify on rate cuts, do you intend to seek Powell's firing if he doesn't change his stance on rate cuts? Or is that on the table, or is it out?
Well, I think he should do the rate cuts because I think if Europe has done it, it puts us at a disadvantage to Europe. I mean, he plays right into their hands. So I think he should do the rate cuts. We don't have really inflation now. I just said the major things are going down. Oil is great. Oil is way ahead of schedule, and that's because of our policies. But oil is down into the $60, $65 range now per barrel. And I told you, in certain states we have less than $2 for gasoline. And food is down. Groceries, as we call it, are down. Other than interest rates, everything's down. Interest rates are pretty flat. It's not that they're up, but we should be better than flat. We should, if he would lower the interest rate, I think it would have a good impact on that too. But the costs are down. We have very little inflation. I would say we have essentially no inflation. Hard to have inflation when oil goes down, and oil goes down. When Biden came in, oil went through the roof. That's what caused our problem. That and his very dumb spending. But when the oil prices go down, and they have gone down a lot, we've gotten it down really good. We've opened it up and we've gotten them down. And that means that people driving cars are going to be paying $2 and $2.50 instead of $4.50. And, you know, even at the end, they tried just for the purpose of the election to get it down. But they had really lost that sucker. That was really, it was not good. But if they had won, oil right now would be at $7 or $8 because of their policy. And we're going to be at about $2. Could be even a little bit less than that. And you're starting to see it. So I don't know how you can have inflation when oil has come down quite a bit. And I would say the Fed really owes it to the American people to get interest rates down. That's the only thing he's good for. And he would have an effect on that if he lowered them. And I think at some point he will. He's going to have a lot of political pressure. You know, they are political also. And I think there's a lot of political pressure for him to lower interest rates. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Please.
Do you think that Italy can be your best ally in Europe? And also, do you ever notice when you walk with your opponents?
Only if the Prime Minister remains the Prime Minister can it be our best. she's doing a great job. And yeah, certainly one of our great allies, not just in Europe, anywhere. She's a fantastic person and doing a great job. And our relationship is great. And we have a lot of Italians in this country, I tell you, and they like Trump, and they voted for Trump. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.